Welp, you asked for it, so it's happening again. This time, we have some even more recent fan games, with one of the three actually being requested by a viewer, which is nice, I guess. By the way, the one requested by a viewer, which is in the thumbnail for this video, is the last game we will be playing today, so I would recommend sticking around for that because it was very popular when it originally came out. Anyways, unlike last time, I only picked fan games that had explicitly advertised themselves as Sonic.exe games, as last time one of the three was a short, non-Sonic.exe fan game that advertised itself as one, but that was only in the name and the name alone. So, with all this in mind, I hope you enjoy the video. The first game we will be playing is called Addy.exe, which was made by MasonBoy123456 and released on November 4th of 2023. From the description alone, all I knew was that the game apparently featured a concerningly large, mostly original cast of characters. Loading up the game, which is actually played in your browser, which is kinda nice I must admit, you have to wait for it a bit, cause, you know, it needs to load. When it does load, this happens. How the hell does someone think this is a good opening to a fan game? Why are the characters like 30 times bigger than the floor? Why is the floor so weird? And why is the music a remix of the special stage music from Sonic 2? Ignoring all of that insanity, the game finally starts after a combined total of 50 seconds, which is rather long for an intro to a fan game on a web browser. Anyways, we get this horrid title screen featuring a weird Peach version of Knuckles.exe, a normal version of Tails.exe, and a normal-looking Sonic. After clicking the Enter key on my keyboard, the game loaded the first stage. I must admit, other than this terrible text overlay, the transition is actually very interesting to me. It was also here, but I figured out that these games were made in Scratch. Yep, someone took a Scratch game, downloaded it, and then put it on Game Jolt for some reason. Why? Who knows? But at least now I know what to expect from the creators of our games. Yep, that's right. I actually looked more into this creator and found that they have several other games like this with their fan creations. So if you want me to review those, just leave a comment below saying so. Anyways, this is where I made the discovery that this is a part 2 to a part 1. Whoops. I don't think it really matters, as no one here will actually comment for me to play these mods within like the next 3 or so days of me uploading this video. After some other weird text, the game finally starts in not Cool Zone, or Sonic and Mason, I presume, then next to a giant gray ring, which Mason then goes into. I must say, there is some charm to this game, like this scene itself. Even if the scene took up like 15 seconds out of a 6-minute gameplay, any additional time given to this scene was because I forgot how you were supposed to move in this game. The control scheme for this game is the arrow keys and the space bar. You barely ever use the enter key for anything, it's just for the title screen. Once you enter the giant gray ring, you appear in a really shitty version of a bonus stage, I assume. The red balls do nothing, and I don't think you can escape, so into that goalpost they go. Ignoring that horrendous death cutscene thing, we move on to Speedway Zone, which has no relation to Stardust Speedway, as the name is literal. In fact, it is so literal that once you move to the right of the screen and collect this first speed power-up, you lose control of your character. So you have to watch as he goes faster and faster and... Then we go to Zone, with Addy, who does nothing except watch the top bar go down a lot. This is an unbearably long transition between events, so something interesting better happen.
Now done. So much fun tearing your body apart.
Well, I guess I was pleasantly surprised. This death animation wasn't all that bad, even if it felt like a complete ripoff of other better Sonic.exe games. But yeah, other than this weird game over glitch I was able to catch, the game is over. Overall, not much really happened, and this felt more like a demo than a game, so it gets a 4 out of 10 for me. Now, before we move on to the second game, I must quickly talk about the game called Sonic Execution, which was made by Inky, and the apparent demo was released on June 19th of 2023. Originally, I thought it was going to be like an absolute clown show, but after actually playing it and ignoring some sound issues, the game's actually really good, although really hard, so be warned, I guess. But yeah, the graphics are good, and sure, the platforming is way too damn fast, but the game is mostly fine. Also, be warned, the fight between Sonic.exe and Tails is really hard. So, with that, I removed it from this episode because, honestly, if this game is developed further, it could be something incredible. Please go check this one out for yourself, as you can play it on any browser. Link is in the description. Anyways, the second game we will be playing today is called Sonic.exe Hide and Seek, which was released by I'm.com on July 20th of 2023. Now, from the description and comments, I was definitely not expecting something good, but the screenshots don't look that bad, so I guess we'll have to play and see for ourselves what this game is actually like. Opening up the game, we get this neat little opening screen, which does look a little bare bones, but the animation that appears once you click play is rather interesting. The title screen has Sonic past the emblem thingy, so that is a little weird, but ignoring that issue, we start in Green Hill Zone, where the first of many issues arise. This game has really bad movement controls. I would recommend keeping this in mind later. Anyways, you get to the end of this short stage, Sonic dies, and then Tails' run starts. I immediately know there was going to be a secret during this level, and there was. Unfortunately, once I got to the end of this incredibly long walking simulator, I was entered into the hide-and-seek mode, which I died on twice due to A, the bad movement controls and the fact I had never played this before, B, Sonic is seemingly 100 times faster than you could ever be, so it doesn't matter. Yes, I played through this game twice, not only because it was that short, but because I wanted to see if there was a way to save any of these characters. Spoiler alert, there really isn't. Knuckles then starts his run, and once again I did the same thing I did with Tails and ended up in the Hidden Palace Zone. The zone was almost uneventful, although I did almost die here due to unbelievably bad movement controls. I did, however, die here because, well, how was I even supposed to live through this? You lose rings, have to jump, and break walls at the same time, which is barely something this game engine can clearly not handle. Yes, I did try a second run where I went to the right instead of the left, and that's pretty much unbeatable. No, I did not go up to this section, so if anyone wants to play and upload their gameplay, go ahead, I guess. Anyways, then we move on to Eggman, who has even worse movement controls than the other characters. It must fall down this hole, then this hole, then another in this unbeatable parkour. I tried this twice and could not beat it either time. Then Sonic.exe guilt trips you, and this actually rather neat ending jump scare happens. Jump scare. And that's the end of the game. Overall, I have to give this one like a 5 out of 10. The game and developer should have just used Unity or some other actual non-handmade game engine. It definitely has its ups, but like, wow, this is bad. And finally, the game you have all been waiting for so eagerly, the one and only Sonic.exe Confronting Yourself, is a game made by that one guy with a hog profile picture, which was released on September 5th of 2023. Now, this was personally requested by the creator of this game himself to play this, which was surprising as not only does it look good, but it got a ton of views, plays, likes, and positive comments about it. So, without further ado, I guess we should get into it and possibly find out why the creator of this game requested me to play this for this series. The game begins with an actually rather neat opening gag, with Sonic.exe enlarging the screen and then laughing about how he's going to kill Sonic and his friends like the little scumbag that he is. Then this cutscene happens. It isn't the best, but it also isn't the worst, I guess. After that, you go into Green Hill and then accidentally find a secret red ring, which, spoiler alert, does nothing. Once you finish that, this cutscene happens. After that, the bane of my existence happens. This incredibly long, incredibly hard, incredibly stressful run to the right and don't die chase happens. After like 20 minutes of trying, I just gave up. This broke me. I just could not finish it. So, to give you all something to look at, I'm just going to borrow footage from another creator and use that to tell you what happens afterwards. So, anyways, after beating the chase that is so long the music has to loop again, you eventually get to a big ring and this happens. And guess what? Scrap Brain Zone is pretty much just a walk to the right level this time. The catch? It's rather long, and eventually, once you get to the end, this happens. Now in Marble Zone, which is another walk to the right level, but this time it's shorter and has some spooky effects to go along with it. Once you get to the end, this happens. And now, finally, we're able to finish the game by beating this incredibly hard boss battle. Yep, we are already at the very end of the game. There is a secret in Marble Zone that you can find by going to the left, then going to the right, and then going back to the left once the spooky effects start happening. Basically, you just walk up a bunch of stairs, only to be immediately sent back to the right side of the map. Don't worry, however, this isn't a complete waste of time, because once you get back to the part of Marble Zone where the background is completely black, you then have to, you guessed it, go back up all those flights of stairs. After you get to the very left of the screen, a character from another fan game of the creator appears, and this cutscene happens. What an amazing waste of time. Getting back to the boss fight, once you're able to hit and finish off Sonic.exe, this cutscene happens. don't worry, once that is over, the game is over. Overall, I give this game a 6 out of 10. Effort was definitely put into it, but, like, good god is it hard and also rather empty. This feels more like a tech demo than an actual full mod. However, the mod does have talent, and I'm pretty sure even the creator can admit that it wasn't good, as this was requested, well, they requested this mod specifically. Anyways, with all that over, the video's over. Bye.